Hey guys, the Kamsh here. Today we'll be taking a look at a deck I've been trying to test a little bit, which is Wrangler Hunter. So a lot of people have tried, different things with Ram Wrangler and sort of mid-range Hunter. And this is a mid-range Hunter deck that tries to focus a lot on synergies, the two main ones being Gormok and then Beasts with things like Houndmaster and Ram Wrangler. So let's go through the deck and then let's play some matches. Obviously there's a lot of different versions of this deck. This is the version I like the most, but some people are playing Dr. Boom, focusing less on the Beast synergies, and that's totally okay, but we're gonna go ahead and see how this version works. So to start off with, we have two web spinners. We want something to play on turn 1, but since we're not super aggressive, things like Leopard Gnome don't make as much sense. We want something that gives us card advantage, which web spinner does, since, even if they hero power it or ping it or something, we're at least getting tempo from that, and then we're getting a card back every time. That card could be good, could not be good, but either way, and it's a beast, so it gives us, both this is a beast and the card it gives us a beast, so it's going to work well with our beast synergies. We then have 3 traps for our mad scientist to go get. We have 1 freezing trap, which is good tempo, helps deal with really big things, like if you bounce an Alexstrasza with this, they can't replay it, unless they reduce its cost of Thorson or something similar. And it's just good to have, 2 different traps and not all in on 1 trap. But the main trap we're focusing on is Snake Trap, and we have 2. 1, because it makes lots of beasts, which is great with, Ram Wrangler, Houndmaster, the whole thing, Kill Command. 2, because it's great with Knife Juggler. They can't attack the Juggler because whatever they attack it with will probably get killed with the Snake Trap. You get 3 triggers. And 3, because it helps activate Gormok, which we really want to do in this deck. Gormok's a really powerful card if you can activate it on, say, like turn 4. So we're not playing Explosive just because there's not as many aggressive decks in the meta, and we already have things like Unleash to deal with if Paladin musters a lot. And we're also not playing Bear Trap just because most decks we're going to be slightly more aggressive than them, and they're going to want to clear our board to remove our synergies. They're not going to attack our face as much, so Bear Trap will sometimes just sit there until it's too late and it does nothing. Excuse me, a little bit of a cough. Next we have 2 Haunted Creepers. Again, Beast makes tokens, everything this deck wants to be doing, just really efficient. We have 1 Owl. Sometimes you need a silence for things like Belcher to push damage, or just Thorson, other really annoying creatures that you can't deal with. So we do have that 1 utility silence because it's nice to have. Obviously you don't want to be playing this on turn 2, it's more of a late drop combined with something else, but we do have the 1 just so we have an out to draw. We have 2 King's Elec. This card is great. For similar reasons to Web Spinner, it's a beast, so again works well with all the synergies, and it has the chance to draw us a card. Now it won't some of the time, especially since we're not playing 7, 8, 9 drops, but it's just a 2 mana 3/2 beast with upside, which we really do want. We have 2 Juggler. Again, we've talked about how this works great with Snake Trap, Haunted Creeper. It also works great with Unleash, and in a deck where we're trying to make a lot of creature tokens as well as have sort of onboard advantage, Knife Juggler is just great. We also have Ball of Spiders, which we'll talk about later, but also good with Knife Juggler. We have 2 Mad Scientists, just a great value card, one of the best value cards in the game. It goes and gets us our Snake Trap and Freezing Trap, so that's why it's in there. 2 Eagle Hornbow, obviously a great weapon, helps us control the board early, push damage, and also interacts favorably with the traps that we're playing. Next we have 2 Animal Companion. It's a, little bit of an RNG card, but all 3 modes are a beast. All 3 modes can be solid. Liak's solid if you make a lot of tokens. Huffer just pushes damage, and Mishra helps assert board control. And it's a beast, just a solid 3-drop. We have 2 kill commands to help push damage and remove things. We'll have a beast almost all the time, so usually won't be dead. And just again, very efficient spell. Basically, almost 3 mana fireball a lot of the time. We then have 2 Unleash the Hounds, again, to deal with when our opponent's board gets too big. Also works great with Knife Juggler, works great with Gormok, and just provides a lot of really good swing turns for us. We have 2 Houndmaster. We're playing a lot of Beasts, so I'm trying to go hard on the Beast synergies, so this is really great because it gives you a solid body by itself. It's the body of a Shredder, 4 mana, 4/3, and then it gives 2/2 worth of stats to a Beast and Taunt. So it's a little bit like Shredder in this deck, in that it's a 4/3 that can give you a 2/2, except the 2/2 will be stapled onto another Beast and give it Taunt, so while Shredder is a great card, I think on average, if Houndmaster is going to be better in this deck if we have Beasts. It's possible that's not true and we should be playing Shredders, but since we're trying to go the synergy route, it's very strong. Next we have 2 Ram Wrangler. This is one of the main reasons we're trying to go for the Beast synergies. It's a 5 mana 3/3, which is pretty bad, but it gives us that body and it summons a random Beast. And while that random Beast can be bad, a lot of the time it could be something like High Mane or King Crush, or even just a 4 mana standard Beast. This card is getting us a lot of value, and it's making 2 creatures, which means that it'll help Gormok be active, and is also good with Knife Juggler. We have 1 Ball of Spiders. This card is just a great finisher. If you're both top decking, this is a 6 mana make 3 dudes draw 3. It helps activate Gormok. It's great with Knife Juggler. It gives us Beast for Houndmaster to interact with and Ram Wrangler to interact with, and then it draws you more Beasts. This card is just a great late game card. Some of the time you don't want to be casting it on 6 since it's not a super great on board play, but late in the game this gives you a lot of reach in terms of being able to win against more grindy matchups. Then finally we have 2 Savannah Jaime, and just a great Beast, makes more Beasts when it dies, makes tokens. This card is just everything we want to be doing. So that's the deck. We're not going too high because we want to be winning early with synergies and overwhelming the board. So let's go ahead and jump into some games. And if you want to see a more in-depth, mulligan guides, early game description, things like that, check out the deck tech on tempostorm.com.